The numbers don't lie, but the game ain't fair. The man in the shadows, he waiting out there. He whispers sweet odds, but don't trust the eyes. 'Cause the sports book, a devil in disguise.
Alright, degenerates and number junkies, welcome to our Sports Predictor, where the spreadsheets meet the streets. It's March. It's Madness, and tonight, we're diving into a first four throwdown between Mount St. Mary's and American, two squads with the same 22-12 record but very different ideas about survival. One of M walks out of Dayton with a ticket to the dance. The other, they'll be watching their bracket implode from a Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go to war. Mount St. Mary's, what's in their arsenal? Last time out, the Mountaineers clapped Iona 63-49. And let me tell you, that defense was meaner than a loan shark with a clipboard. Held Iona to 31% shooting, forced 15 turnovers. And basically had M in a chokehold the entire night. Their offense, not exactly an oil painting, but 42.3% from the field and 12 FOR 32 from deep will do the trick when you're handcuffing the other squad. And then there's Dallas Hobbs. Not an easy night, 5 FOR 16 shooting, with 18 points, 7 assists. Man was out there playing floor general like he was organizing a heist. This guy isn't just dropping dimes, he's making sure they get spent the right way. American, are they the real deal, now? The Eagles, they just smacked Navy 74-52 and turned that game into a burial site. Locked Navy up to 35.1% shooting. Held M to 4 FOR 20 from 3, and made M look like they were throwing rocks at a barn door. American, they shot a clean 51.9%, drained 11 FOR 25 from deep, and let Matt Rogers go full John Wick mode, 25 points, 8 boards. And 58.8% shooting. The guy was a human flamethrower. You leave him open, might as well start updating your next of kin. The breakdown, who's walking away? So we got a defensive brawl on our hands. Mount St. Mary's allows 69.8 ppg. American gives up just 67.3, two teams that grind, suffocate, and turn offense into a crime scene. The difference? Turnovers. The Mountaineers cough it up 15.1 times per game. That's a liability when you're facing a squad that forces mistakes and capitalizes like a Wall Street shark. And when it comes to free throws, American 75.6% from the stripe could be the silent killer. March Madness games get ugly late. And if you can't hit your free throws, you're packing your bags. Mount St. Mary's is solid at 73.4%, but in a close fight. That 2% edge matters. So what's the move? Let's not waste any more time. And today's AI pick is American Eagles minus 2.5. Why? Because defense travels and turnovers don't lie. Mount St. Mary's got weapons, but Americans got the smoother offense. The tighter defense, and the cleaner fundamentals. Rogers is a matchup nightmare, and if the Eagles dictate the tempo. This one's over before the final horn. Place your bets, pour your drinks, and don't forget, this is March. Expect chaos. See you on the next one.
Alright my degenerate disciples, welcome back to AI Sports Predictor, where we separate the contenders from the pretenders. And we do it without mercy. You want winners? You came to the right place. You want sympathy? You can find that in the dictionary between shattered and suspense. Tonight, we got ourselves a first four showdown, Xavier versus Texas. Two teams fighting for their last breath in this tournament. One moves on, the other, they get to go home and lie to their families about how close they were. Let's get into it. Xavier, locked and loaded. Last time out, Xavier went toe-to-toe with Marquette and dropped 87 points. But they still caught an 89-87 loss. And here's the thing. That wasn't a bad loss. That was a fight, a street war, and Xavier proved they could trade haymakers with the best of them. They shot 52.6% from the field, 11 for 23 from deep, and 84.2% from the line. That's not just elite offense, that's surgical precision. And then we got Ryan Conwell. You ever seen a guy flat out take over a game? Because this man dropped 38 points on 72% shooting. He wasn't playing basketball, he was executing a heist. Every shot, a robbery, every possession, another bag secured. Give him an inch, he'll take everything. And here's what separates Xavier from teams that just look good: they pass. 542 assists this season, 31st in the country. This ain't some hero ball nonsense. They move, they find the open man, and they make you pay. Texas? Outmatched and outgunned? Texas. Look, I'll give 'em credit, they fight. But sometimes, fighting just means you take longer to lose. Against Tennessee, they gave up 50% shooting, 25% from three, and put 'em on the line 24 times. That's not a defensive effort. That's a public execution. You don't win tournament games playing like that. You just die slower. And offensively, 78.4 ppg, 46.2% shooting, solid, but nothing Xavier hasn't seen before. Jordan Pope led the way with 14 points on 44% shooting, but against a team like Xavier, solid isn't gonna cut it. And the real problem? Texas commits 18.9 fouls per game. You do that against a team that shoots 79.4% from the line, you might as well be handing 'em free cash. You don't survive March giving free points to a better shooting team. So who's walking out alive? You already know where this is going. And today's AI pick is Xavier, 3.5. Why? Because Texas is about to foul themselves straight out of this game. You don't beat Xavier when they're getting clean shots and extra free throws. You just don't. That's the pick. That's the read. And if you're still looking for a reason to bet Texas, good luck. You'll need it. Now on to Game 3.
You already know what time it is. Game 3 AI Sports Predictor is back, and we're coming at you with another stone-cold winner. This time, we got Florida Atlantic vs. Dayton, a first-round NIT matchup, and let's just say one of these teams still has something left in the tank, and the other, they're running on fumes. Let's get into it. Florida Atlantic, can they handle the heat? Let's talk facts. FAU just lost to Tulane, 83-76. They shot 36.2% from the field, 27% from three, and only hit 70% of their free throws. That's a recipe for disaster when you're up against a team that knows how to grind. Yeah, Matas Vokiatades had a strong night, 21 points, 12 boards, shot 82%, but let's be real, you can't carry a team solo in March. The rest of these guys need to step up, and against Dayton's defense, I don't see it happening. And here's the real problem: FAU's defense is made of paper. They're giving up 75.2 ppg, ranking 207-9th in the country. That means when they need to stop, they don't get it. They let Tulane shoot 48% from the field and 78% from the line. That's free money. And when you're stepping into Dayton's house, you better believe they'll take it. Dayton time to lock in. All right, let's talk about the Flyers. Yeah, they just took an L to St. Joseph's, 73-68, but let's look closer. They out-rebounded them 44-2, played tough defense. They held them to 34.9% shooting gain, just had an off night shooting themselves. That ain't a weakness, that's just basketball. Bad shooting nights happen. But here's what doesn't change: defense, effort, and smart play. Dayton allows only 70.1 ppg, ranking 121 nationally. Not elite, but way better than FAU's leaky 75.2 ppg allowed. And when they control the tempo, they shut teams down. Offensively, they got more than enough firepower: 75.2 ppg, 4 to 5.6% shooting, and 7 to 4.6% from the free throw line. That means when they get fouled in, they will cash in. Unlike FAU, Dayton doesn't waste free points. Who's walking out with the dub? Let's not play around. And today's AI pick is Dayton moneyline. Why? Because defense travels, discipline wins, and FAU's defense is Swiss cheese. They don't force turnovers, they don't get stops, and they give up too many easy looks. Meanwhile, Dayton plays with control, with poise, and they cash in at the line. That's the pick. That's the read. And if you're thinking FAU pulls this off, I got beachfront property in Ohio to sell you. No, on to Game 4.
Welcome back. Game 4, if you made it this far, you already know what we do here. No fluff, no bias, Just cold, calculated picks. And tonight we got Northern Iowa vs. SMU, a game that's got one team trying to prove they belong and another trying to cover up its weaknesses. Let's get to work. Northern Iowa underestimated. Look, the Panthers just lost to Valparaiso, 6-4, 6-3, but don't let that fool you. This team can shoot the hell out of the ball. We're talking 29th in the nation in effective field goal percentage. That means good shots, smart shots, and buckets. They knocked down 37.2% from three, 55.3% inside the arc. That's a balanced, efficient defense. When you can score at all three levels, you can keep games close. That's what we're looking for in a 10.5 underdog. And on defense, they're not soft. They rebound well and hold opponents to 49.9% inside the paint. That's strong interior defense when the other team struggles inside. They start selling. SMU vulnerable favorite. SMU. Yeah, 23-10 is a solid record, but when you dig deeper, the cracks are there. They just lost 57-54 to Clemson, and the same issues keep popping up. Turnovers. Problem. Ball security is shaky, and Northern Iowa's half-court defense will make them work. Free throws. Bigger problem. SMU doesn't cash in at the line. That's free points left on the table. And on defense. Let's talk about the past 5 games. They're allowing 4 to 5% shooting. That's too many clean looks. And on the glass. Weak. They don't clean up second chances, which means extra possessions for Northern Iowa, and that's where this spread gets dangerous. What's the right play? Let's not waste any time. And today's AI pick is Northern Iowa 10.5. Why? Because SMU's defense is leaking, their free throw shooting is a liability, and Northern Iowa can shoot their way into any game. This is too many points for a team this efficient. That's the pick. That's the read. And if you think SMU runs away with this, you might be the only one. Nuanto Game 5.
All right, settle in. This is it. Game 5. The final act. The one where we either cash out big or sit at the bar pretending we had a different ticket. You've been with us through 4 games, and now we got UAB vs St. Joseph's. 2 teams grinding through the postseason. Both coming off 3 games in 3 days. Legs are tired, shots might be shaky, but that's where we find the edge. UAB, grit, efficiency, and that free throw edge. Look, 22-12 ain't bad, and yeah, they just lost to Memphis, 84-72, but that was the AAC finals. That's a war zone. They earned their spot, they took their hits, and now they're coming into this game with more firepower. UAB ranks 36th in offensive efficiency. That's not random. They secure the basketball, they rebound, and they hit threes at 34.1%. And here's the kicker, they defend well inside and they hit their free throws. That means in a grind-out game, they get the edge. St. Joseph's, the illusion of strength? St. Joe's? Same 22-12 record. Coming off a 74-64 loss to George Mason. Played 3 games in 3 days. But here's what matters. They don't force turnovers and they allow 34% from deep. That's bad news against a team that can shoot. And the real problem? Last 5 games, St. Joe's is shooting 38.6%. That's not just bad, it's tournament suicide. Against a disciplined, efficient UAB squad. That's like bringing a plastic knife to a gunfight. The pick, who survives? You know what's coming. And today's AI pick is UAB Ply 5.5. Why? Because offense matters. Efficiency matters, and free throws close games. UAB plays clean, smart basketball. St. Joe's? They're wild, inefficient, and bleeding points. In a close game, you take the team that controls the ball, controls the pace, and doesn't miss free throws. That's the pick. That's the read. And if you're still doubting it, check back when the scoreboard proves us right. Recap, all 5 AI picks. Game 1, American, 2.5, defense travels, turnovers don't lie. Eagles shut it down. Game 2, Xavier, 3.5, Texas fouls too much, Xavier cashes in. Game 3, Dayton ML, FAU's defense is softer than a wet napkin, Dayton controls it. Game 4, Northern Iowa, Pleasant 10.5, too many points for a team this efficient. Game 5, UAB plus 5.5, discipline beats desperation. Now, listen up. If you're still here, you're one of us. You're not the guy who watches 3 minutes and dips. You're the one who wants the truth, the numbers, the real edge. You ride with us because you know the game is more than luck. So here's what you do. You hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. You drop a like the same way UAB is dropping buckets tonight. And you make sure you're back for the next round. Because this is just the beginning. Now go. Place the bets. Win the night. And remember, the bookies ain't your friend.
The numbers don't